Hello there, my friends, and meet me. I'm just gonna take a little night shot video here, driving over the Spuzzum Bridge and up to Hell's Gate. A little bit of night driving with me. This is what I do every night. All dark. You never know. We might see a Sasquatch. Never know what you can capture on film. Yeah, I just crossed the Fraser River. On the east side of it, coming up to Alexandria here. A little bit of night driving. Excuse me if this video is a little shaky, but we're just a little of what I'm doing at night. It's what I do every night. Looks like fun, right? I hope you enjoy it. Yeehaw. Never know what we're going to capture. I know there's not much scenery, but just thought I'd try something interesting for once. I'm going to go up through the tunnels, climbing up to Hell's Gate. Like I said, this video may be shaky because I got a ship. Really got nowhere to mount the camera. Listening to Art Bell and Dark Matters at the same time. So, enjoy.
Theorizing about very advanced civilizations having this ability.
Yes.
And that when humans are in the presence of the praying mantis, the praying mantis has the ability to calm the human's natural fear
Going
of
up
the way
the first
they look.
part of the climb
And
here.
what he did next,
Coming up to the Alexandria
took the young
Tunnel.
teenage Linda Porter to a round,
Truck's going to drop a bunch of gears.
container
Kind of sucks, so it'll
almost
probably
like
be
a
shaky
small
in here.
room, and showed her all of this dense, yellow, sparkly light inside of it. And then, as he was saying, this is one piece of what you need to understand, he walked her into a room nearby and said, watch. And now, it's a gray type entity. Gray androids that are robots in prime intelligence grades, and that there are all kinds, and now that she's seeing what I call intelligence in the gray category. They have very big eyes, they have very heavily skin, they are quite big around their 3 foot, we'll call them androids, that have the big black eyes,
no balls to it whatsoever, but I did pay much, so it's kind of ratchet. Freezer, ratchet, what else? A little air chisel gun with it, and some other stuff. If that stuff works good, everything is good.
A little bit of fog out here and radio chatter. Coming up to the first tunnel.
Like a hologram, because this is what occurs. Great, long, 4 fingers just seem to pass through and shows this, no blood, heavily dry, shows this to Linda Porter, and she gets telepathic stuff like this. It is important that the entity, and she gets the symbol or gets communication that when they say entity, they are
Went in for something.
the animal as well. The man's entity of this particular container of the man's mind, it's important that the soul remains inside of such a container for a longer period of time than the man's body is willing to give, because the man is dying hard.
That was the Alexandria Tunnel we went through there.
The man when there's a gesture, now she sees that there are these that have very people in them. And once she recognizes that the others have life left in their soul, is a man who is a little bit younger.
Well, I borrowed a couple old cables off of me that I had from an old radio, and they were for bed. Yeah.
Communicate telepathically to her. Because it is important.
It's going to be a little rough in here. This climb gets a little tough right here. For the amount of weight that I got on, I got 61,000 kgs on, which is 142,000 for, well, 140,000 for my American friends in pounds.
And we are going to
yeah, he's a little bit behind. He'd probably just be getting into the creek now. But just leaving the sermon. Yeah, you bet, yeah. Everybody turns free up there. No, things coming out, but yeah, I would say put up there and good weekend to get to it. We'll watch for next week.
This is very complex, and we can keep going in this.
By all means, so they're studying that soul. That is a, I guess, it was a case study, and for some reason, they needed that soul to continue.
Well, what is time? Because I don't think they're studying just one thing. I think this is a huge complex 16-layer chessboard that's going on concerning various agendas by various non-humans, and the non-humans themselves may not always go on about this political question. What is allowable to do with life? If Homo sapiens sapien is the product of genetic manipulation and already evolving primates going back to Homo erectus, as the alleged presidential briefing paper that I was shown from the Air Force Base on April 9, 1983 said, it said that, then we must have been made the way we are, with our tendency toward violence and self-destruction and all the things that humans are.
Bunch of trucks coming in from the interior. All these fucking Indians. They got lumber on them. Here comes some of the freight haulers.
If you step back a little bit wider and you go back to a discussion that I had back in the
night driving, it's so much fun. Okay, we're just going to come up here to the top of Hell's Gate Mountain.
Paycheck came from the Central Intelligence Agency, but the outside world.
Then we're going to go through Hell's Gate Tunnel in Farabee. Then we get to go downhill. Woohoo!
To the concept of Truman and the Majestic 12, and if you have some assignments in the military,
still no Sasquatch. Damn, that would have been great. Comes another freight hauler.
Here's another thing that no one wants to be true. People will say the idea of standing up lizards or standing up alligators is so repugnant, and they won't go there, even though abductees say this is another type present in all of this. I always ask people who say that's not possible, that's somebody making up a science fiction story. Our own biblical history has a Garden of Eden.
Oh, here we are, just coming up to the top. Hell's Gate Tunnel.
Human form.
Elvis Cafe there on the side. Been there a million years.
Surface to communicate with ease all about things like getting out of the garden and learning about technology, science, that are called The Temptations of Eve and the in the Garden of Eden.
Okay, now we're going downhill.
And what is the relationship between the historic reptilian undercurrent in Church literature and the eyes and the tall, blonde, and red-haired humanoids that can have the crystal blue eyes or the blonde with very bold eyes like the Greeks. And a lot of people don't realize that the Greeks on this planet are the only ones in bloodlines that have very yellow gold eyes. Some of them. I have a cousin Greek and she has yellow gold eyes. And that there are all kinds of contradictions and confusions in our own religious and earth history.
Okay, we're going downhill by Hell's Gate now.
That I've run into and have published in Spuzzum of Reality about people being shown by beings, mixtures of beings, that their bodies and the relationship of the container to the soul spirit has some very profound meaning to these non-humans, and they are trying to study it. And one day, in discussing all of this with a colleague, somebody suggested that I study the Gnostics, going back to Zoroaster and Zoroastrianism. And the interesting thing is, when you go back to that over 2,000 years old literature, you run into a
Again by Hell's Gate.
view of the cosmos and how the
Coming down the hill towards China Bar Tunnel.
in the reincarnated process that is the machinery of the universe in which the soul spirit, the atom in each one, goes in and out of different containers, sort of like when medical was think of a sewing machine and the way the needle goes in and out of position. Any soul spirit could have
Got a bunch of vehicles on me, my back doors, so after I go through the tunnel, I'm going to have to turn off the camera.
In the current age, reincarnation
Because they can't pass me here.
possible mythology, the idea of tall reptilian humanoids has been set off into the realm of science fiction. That the idea of a serpent having something to do with the beginning of humans is set as
Good thing no rocks on the road tonight or anything.
the post-installation between what might have been historically extraterrestrial biological entities terraforming, and that's the word, terraforming, and manipulating genetic material on the surface of this planet. And now I'm going to give you a number art that was given to me in 1999 by a man who had retired from
There's the China Bar Tunnel. Out here in my big Peterbilt. Set of Super B trailers.
Dumbbell in the morning when I'm straight. I'm gonna open up your gate and maybe tell you about Phaedra and how she gave me life and how she made it in.
Well, kids, I hope you enjoyed that. Take her easy, shutting down, going back to paying attention on the road.